I've made nearly £4,000 in the last 18 months just by selling the stuff that's laying around my home on Vinted. And you can too. I'll briefly let you know a little bit about myself and my Vinted journey. So I'm a mum to 4 children. I've got a 20-year-old son. I've also got a 16-year-old son. And then I've got 8-year-old twins. I've also got a dog. And I started on my journey to decluttering my home 2 years ago. I wanted to make more money for experiences, activities, days out, holidays, and just spending time with loved ones more than having stuff in my home. I was also going through quite a lot of changes in my life and I needed the extra cash. So I started looking around my home and selling my stuff on Vinted. And honestly, I got hooked on there. I used to sell stuff on eBay a long time ago. And the difference with Vinted is that it's just so easy to list things. It's really quick as well. I do most of my listings when I'm either sat on the toilet or I'm waiting to pick my little girls up from school. So it is really quick to list things on there. So I've been really busy with selling on Vinted in the last 18 months. And like I said, I've made nearly £4,000. And so honestly, I'm chuffed with this because I've been able to use this money to buy clothes for my little girls. I've bought Christmas presents with this money because I buy stuff on Vinted for Christmas as well. I've also put this money towards experiences and holidays and all, and paying off debt and all sorts. So honestly, this has really come in use, this extra cash. And each week I will sell up to 10 items a week, sometimes more. So I do a lot of packing items and going back and forth to the in-post lockers and also the post office, which is honestly so easy. Like, it is no bother at all. I don't like queuing, so I'd rather do the in-post lockers. If you don't know, with the in-post lockers, all you do on Vinted is when you sell something, you can print off the label, stick it on your parcel, and then scan it at the lockers and stick your item into these little lockers. Honestly, it's so quick and easy to do. Sometimes you can also get a QR code on your phone, so you just scan that at the scanner on the in-post lockers, and then you don't have to have a printer for your labels either. And I've sold a range of items on Vinted. The thing that I sell the most of is clothes for myself and my little girls. I do try to sell my son's clothes, but they don't go as much as mine or my little girl's clothes for some reason on there. But I also have sold all sorts of toys, games. I sold a little touch lamp the other day. I also have sold quite big items. Like, I sold my little girl's dolly pushchairs and that fitted into a big locker. I also put something into quite a large box recently. I think it was like a variety of things. I can't really remember what was in there. But honestly, I had quite a big box, about that big, and that fitted into the large locker. So it is surprising what you can sell on Vinted. I know that they've updated the app recently, so there are a lot more categories that you can sell, including electronics and technology and things like that. So have a little look on there. But anyway, now I'm going to go through my top tips on how to sell on Vinted, and these really help me to sell my items, so I think it'll help you as well. My number one tip to you is to take good pictures with good lighting. If you've ever browsed Vinted yourself, you can probably relate to this. If a picture of something is quite dark, it doesn't show the item in full, it doesn't show the item at its best, then you're probably going to scroll past it. But items that are well lit, that look nicely presented, that are shaped nicely in the photo, and that you can see the whole item in the photo as well, will probably catch your eye more, because it definitely does with me. And by having a good picture with good lighting, it's almost as if someone's browsing a website, because it is really going to stand out on the Vinted app. So make sure, like I said, you've got good lighting. So try to show the true colours of the item. Sometimes with normal household lighting, things can show up a little bit more yellow. So maybe try and take photos outside if you can, in natural daylight. Obviously you need to put something down to protect it first. But if you can do that, then honestly, that is going to be amazing, but obviously not in full sunlight, because that's just gonna cause the picture to be a little bit overexposed and you're not gonna get a good picture that way. But I've never tried this, but I probably will in the future, because honestly, outside lighting is probably the best lighting that you can get. Also, I suggest having a nice background, so either a white background or a plain light coloured background, so that you can take your picture on that, because your item will stand out more. I normally photograph in my kitchen because I've got nice big white tiles in my kitchen and my items always look nice on that. I also use my laminate flooring because it is a light brown, and I will place my items in front of my patio doors because all the natural light is coming in. You can always use a sheet, so a light sheet, and maybe iron it first though so it looks nice and pristine. And you can also photograph on a table. I sometimes photograph smaller things on my white table in my kitchen. I've also seen quite a lot of people hanging items from a white door. So my next tip for you is to take 3 or more photos of your items, because it has been proven that items with 3 or more pictures do sell better. And it is probably because people can really get a good idea of what that item looks like by seeing different photos. And I know myself that it puts me off if I find an item that I like the look of, but then it doesn't have any of the photos. I just scroll past it and I'm not interested, because I want to see different angles of that item. I want to see the labels. I want to see any defaults that it has. So take a couple of photos. I like to take a photo of the full item. Then I will take a picture of any parts of that item that are interesting, like pockets, the neckline, the hemline as well. Also the sleeves, if it has adjustable straps or buttons or anything like that on it, like zips, then take photos of those as well. And then turn the item around as well and take a picture from the back. So obviously this goes for all sorts of things that you're selling, not just clothes, but obviously I'm talking from a point of selling clothes at the moment, but you can take pictures like this of toys, objects around your home, anything that you wish really. Just take a couple of photos of this in all different angles. Take a picture of the bottom of it, take a picture of the side, the top, the middle. Do you know what I mean? Like, just take a few photos. My third tip is to make sure that you haven't got your hands or your feet in the photo that you're taking. It is just like a psychological thing, I think. Like, if you see hands in a photo, people are not going to be interested and they're probably going to just scroll past. When you're listing an item as well, be really honest about the condition of that item. So take pictures of any wear, so if it's got any bobbling, any stains, marks, rips, any defaults, if it's broken, that type of thing. Be really honest. People will still buy stuff off you, even if it does have defaults. I've sold so many clothes that have had marks on them, that have had a hole in, and as long as you put that in the description box, people can make an informed choice then if they want to buy it or not. I've sold toys with marks on and things that have been really overworn. Do you know what I mean? Like, as long as you're truthful and just be really upfront and take pictures of any wear, so anything that you think is going to come back to you once you've sold that item, I would be really honest up front and take photos of these things to show the defects before you actually list them. Have a really good think about what you're going to put in your title, because I do think it makes a massive difference. So instead of just putting in your title something generic like red top, do you know what I mean? Instead you could put things like red going out top or red round necked top. What I like to do is when I write my title out, I will write the title which is a little bit eye-catching. So for instance, if I'm trying to sell this denim dress, I will put on there light blue denim dress for casual wear, and then I will put a few things in the description or the title that I think people will search for. So for instance, this is a flared dress or a skater style dress, so I'll put on the end skater style, skater dress or mini dress. If you have a little think about what people might write in the search box when they're looking for that item, it will really help you to figure out your title. Let me just show you how easy it is to upload an item. So all you need to do is go to sell at the bottom. So you've set up an account, go to sell, click on upload photo, and then, excuse the picture of my dinner that I had last night, and then you just click on the photos that you want to list. So I'm just going to click on a few photos like this, press done, and then you can actually go through the photos, click on them one by one. You can rotate them if you want to. You can also swap them around, so if you want to put that photo first, you can. So then we're going to write in our title. So this is a little stripy dress. I'm going to put in stripy summer dress, and then all you need to do then is write a description, and I usually write something like, In very good condition. It's only been worn once, from a smoke and pet-free home. Obviously, don't lie, but mine is from a smoke-free home, and I've also got an allergy-free dog as well, so I always put pet-free. And then go to category, and you can list what category this would go into. So this would go into short dresses. The brand is Next, so it always comes up really easily with the items to pick. I think these were age 4. And then the condition, so you've got new with tags, new without tags, very good, good or satisfactory, and I will put very good for these. And then the material, so this material was linen, and then the price, put them at £3, and then parcel size. So this will show you then what parcel size or what locker you think this will fit into, and if you click on each one, it will give you a little description of what they think would fit into that locker or what would fit into that parcel, the size. I'm going to do small for clothes because there's only a few, and then literally all I do is press upload, and it is going to be uploaded to my page. I won't click upload because I've already actually put those on my page. Like I said, I will start listing things when I'm sat in the toilet or I'm in a queue somewhere. Like I've been in queues and I've been like, just list. It is so easy to do. If you've cut out labels, be honest. I cut out labels quite a lot, but I'm always upfront and honest that I've actually cut the label out. When you're taking pictures of your items as well, lay your items out as flat as possible. Shape them as well. So if you've got a dress that is a skater dress, shape that item so it looks nice, or it looks how it would look on a person's body, so it's a bit more eye-capturing. If you can iron things before you list them, honestly, that is the best thing, and I've actually ironed loads of things recently so I could list them so that they look better in photos, and it does make a difference because obviously if something looks good, people are going to be more inclined to purchase that item. Also, try to make sure that you pack and send your items quickly, because one, that'll give you really good feedback and it'll give you really good seller's rating as well. I've got a 4.9 out of 5 star rating, so obviously that's quite a high rating, and high ratings do make people want to purchase from you because they know that you're a really good seller. It also helps to communicate with your buyers as well. So if you think something's going to take a little bit longer to send out, just tell them, honestly, I've never got bad feedback, even if I've sent things off a little bit later, because I've always just said to them, look, I'm running a little bit late this week because my little girls have been unwell or I've been struggling to get out, and they've been fine about it. As long as you're upfront and honest and you communicate, things are normally okay in that sense. Also, when you're listing your items, I would highly suggest that you only list one item a day, and that will help you to stay on top of the Vinted algorithm, because when you post something, your items will get shown to people. It's items that are newly listed that gets shown on the main page or gets recommended to people, because I find that when I list something, I get quite a lot of views, I got lots of people adding it to their favourites or people purchasing. But if I listed something a few weeks ago, it gets pushed to the bottom of the page and doesn't get shown to people. So if you've got quite a few items to sell, I would definitely list something every day instead of listing them all in one go. Also, I just want to let you know to be prepared to haggle with your prices and try to be fair, because people have to pay for the buyer's protection fee and also the postage. So if something is being listed for £1 by yourself, just think that that is probably being bumped up to like £6 after people pay for postage and the buyer's protection fee as well. So people will haggle with you, and I've had lots of people bumping me down, and I usually just accept a fair price. Also, try not to be too ruthless with your haggling because it will put people off buying. For instance, I wanted to buy a blazer recently and it was marked at £6, I think, and then I offered them £4.50 and they came back and said £5.25, and it really put me off because I was just thinking, what's the difference of 75p? So yeah, it did put me off and I didn't buy that item. Just try to be a little bit fair with your prices if someone wants to offer you, but obviously don't take peanuts for your items as well. You can come back to them and offer them your price. For example, if you're selling something for £8 and someone knocks you down to £4 and you think, do you know what, I'm not selling that for £4, it's not worth it. I'm going to offer them a new price of £6. So you told them the price that you will accept, and a lot of the time people have actually bought the item from me when I've done that. So don't be scared to do that if you think that the price is not fair. My last 2 tips for you are about storing the items and also making sure that they're nice and clean before you send them. So make sure that you wash these items. If they smell, like, wash them before you send them. Obviously make sure they're fully dry as well. And then store them nicely. So if you've got a hanging rail where you can hang these things in a nice dry area where it's not going to get dirty or dusty, do that. You can keep things in your wardrobe if you're quite happy to do that. Put them in drawers, or what I like to do is to store them in very Loctite boxes in the garage. So I will make sure that everything is clean before I send it, so everything gets washed, and then I will also store them in a clear box in the garage, and it has a tight lid on it which clicks at the side, and it just keeps everything moisture free, clean and smelling lovely as well. It's not really nice for a buyer to receive an item that's dirty, that's stained, that doesn't smell very nice. And I'm really obsessed with Vinted, okay? So most of my items in my wardrobe and my little girl's wardrobe come from Vinted now. So I've had mainly really lovely items that are in pristine condition, that smell beautiful. But I also had some really bad experiences where the one time, one of my favourite jackets actually, well, the one time this jacket just came covered in this white stuff, and I don't really know what it was, but it looked like white mold, and I washed it. I washed it on high temperature. I also used the Dettol laundry cleanser, which is brilliant, by the way, so I always put that in with my Vinted items. I've also had plenty of items that smell of smoke, that smell of damp. Recently I bought a jacket that was covered in this green stuff and smelled absolutely disgusting, so I ended up returning it. So you don't want to get bad feedback. You don't want people to end up returning items either because they're not happy of the smell or the cleanliness of that item. At the end of the day, we do want to receive something that smelled bad or that was really dirty. So make sure that you are storing these things nicely. If you're ready to start turning your clutter into cash, hit the like button, because I'm going to be making more money making videos like this in the future. Leave a comment if you've got any questions, or if you want to share your Vinted wins, because honestly I am obsessed, so I'd love to hear that. Now go list your first item, have a lovely time, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.